That's right, Julian. Within the last 20 minutes, Raleigh police confirming to us that they are investigating a shooting here at the Gramercy Apartments. This is off of West North Street. As we zoom in behind me, we're going to zoom into the pool deck. That's where the investigation has really centered. You see several police officers that are up there on that portion of this apartment complex. This is the Gramercy Apartments that's in the Glenwood South neighborhood. It sits right off of Glenwood South. And beyond those group of officers, you can actually see an officer in the doorway of a balcony on one of those fourth floor apartments. We know that investigators are really zeroing in on that particular apartment. I spoke with several residents here at the Gramercy who tell me that they heard as many as 18 shots fired out here just about an hour or so ago, right in the middle of dinner time for a lot of people. A lot of people were on businesses here along Glenwood South eating dinner. One person told me that they were at La Santa when all of a sudden people were ducking beneath booths and tables because they heard these gunshots ring out, and it was a very tense situation. Some witnesses telling me that they heard a round of gunfire with about a 45-second pause, and then several more rounds of gunfire ring out here at the Gramercy Apartments. Now, Raleigh police telling us that they have not located any victims at this point. We're working to confirm if anybody was shot, who was shot, and who this shooter is. We do know that police have a suspect in custody. We watched them take that person away in an ambulance here just a short while ago at the Gramercy Apartments. That's where this shooting investigation well underway. We know a lot of residents are very shaken up by all of this, knowing that this happened so close to where they live. This is a very large apartment complex. I believe we have some video that we're showing you now of some of the response to this crime scene. And we actually know that there are dozens of police cars out here. There were just so many police officers that responded to this scene. Not sure what they were showing up to, but when they got here, they did locate a suspect and they apprehended him pretty quick. You can see a few of the residents here out live that are gathering on this street corner. But here is the crime scene tape that's blocking off West North Street at Boylan Avenue. And as we look down the way here, you can see just how big this response is. Dozens of police cars responding here to the Gramercy this evening. Dozens of officers also responding to a shooting investigation that is well underway. I did get some pictures from some residents that are here at the apartment. They actually sent them to me, and it shows some of the investigation that's up on that pool deck. You can see a gun that is clearly on the ground. You can see shattered windows that look like they had been shot out. So we're working to learn more information from Raleigh police. Again, how many people may have been shot here this evening at the Gramercy Apartments. Julian, as soon as we get more information, we'll bring that to you.
And Brett, you gave a really good description of the scene there, how officers have it blocked off. Now, typically, as you stated earlier, there are a lot of people out and about around this time in that area, mingling around. Are residents staying away from this area right now, or are more congregating to find out exactly what's going on?
It's a little bit more of residents congregating at this point. Whenever this initially happened, witnesses telling me that a lot of people were hiding behind different trash bins, different planters here that are along West North Street. You can actually see one of the trash bins right here, but this is what we're talking about. There was a couple of trash bins over in that parking lot there that a few people were hiding behind when they heard these gunshots ring out. One witness telling me that they were parking their car in that parking lot when these dozen or so shots rang out, just completely rattling people's evenings here in the Glenwood South neighborhood. And now they just want to know what did happen, who was shot, who was this shooter, what led up to this shooting. Those are the questions that we're asking Raleigh police right now. It's very early on in this investigation. RPD telling me, though, that this is not an active shooter situation, but it is a shooting investigation, and it is a very tense scene out here along Glenwood South neighborhood and West North Street. Again, we're going to continue to stay on top of this all throughout the evening, Julian. Yeah, Julian, and within the last 5 minutes, I've talked to Raleigh police. They tell me that they have not located any victims as a result of this shooting. I'm going to step out of the frame here and show you what this scene looks like. Still very active here on West North Street at the Gramercy Apartments. And this all played out here in the pool deck area. There's a apartment that overlooks the pool. That's where investigators have really zeroed in their attention. We actually have some video from a viewer that sent this in that will show you some of what played out here just around 6:30 this evening. Here about a few seconds into this clip, you're going to actually see a man fall from that balcony. And that is the man that police eventually took into custody. Residents here at the Gramercy telling me that this was a very tense evening right around dinner time, very chaotic scene after hearing 2 sets of gunfire. You'll actually see Raleigh police taking this man into custody right here in this video from this scene. But witnesses telling me 2 sets of gunfire. They heard about 9 shots, a 45-second break, and then about 9 more shots. And we also have some pictures from residents here when investigators were first responding to the scene and collecting some evidence. You'll actually see from an apartment above overlooking the pool area. You'll see a shattered window along with a gun laying on the ground. We're working to determine if that was the gun that was used in this shooting. Also working to confirm if that suspect that police took into custody is the shooter in this investigation. But again, Raleigh police confirming that they have not found any victims at this time. Julian, we're going to keep you updated on this very active investigation. Well, Julian, the forensics team still on scene here, and we are inside the Gramercy, inside the apartment that's 2 floors above where this all unfolded 3.5 hours ago. The resident of this apartment letting us get this vantage point, and you can see a gunshot that has shattered the window of that doorway while this forensics team continues to investigate the gunfire erupting this afternoon, turning a peaceful Sunday into a chaotic crime scene. Around 6:30 p.m., police and EMS swarmed the streets surrounding the Gramercy apartments. Witnesses tell me they heard over a dozen shots fired. A resident sent in this video of a man falling from a balcony into the pool area. Shortly after, police took him into custody. The WRAL breaking news tracker was there as he was carried down the stairs before being loaded onto a stretcher and taken away in an ambulance.
It sounded like we heard shots were fired, and I asked my girlfriend if that's what she heard, and she didn't think so. And there was probably about a 45-second silence, and then all of a sudden, just more of them rang out.
Other residents sent me these images showing the investigation taking place in the pool area at the Gramercy. A window in the doorway is shot out, and you can see a gun lying on the ground. The shooting having a ripple effect on all of the Glenwood South neighborhood. One woman tells me she was eating dinner at a nearby restaurant when the gunfire erupted.
Right now, I don't know if I'll be able to go to bed tonight. It's a little uneasy.
Yeah. West North Street is back open tonight as the investigators have condensed this crime scene. But Julian, RPD tells me that they have that suspect in custody, and somehow, some way, they have not located any victims.